bienvenidos a nuestro departamento. Hoy les vamos a dar un tour, espero que lo disfruten mucho. ¡Vamos!
Oh, hi! My name's Dave, I'm British, and I've been living here in Queretaro, Mexico with my beautiful wife Karen for the last 2 years. A lot of our viewers have been asking us a lot of questions about how much it costs to live in Mexico. Karen, come over here.
Hola!
Are you not speaking English this time?
Hello!
So, you've seen the comments on our videos. It seems we've made people want to come and live in Queretaro.
Yes, so we were thinking that it could be a good idea to do this video for you to show you our expenses and the way of living in Mexico. What do you think if we show them our finances?
Okay.
Let's do it!
A lot of people are choosing to retire in Mexico. Querétaro is one of the popular locations because for foreigners, their money goes much further in Mexico. But how much do you really need?
Let me show you our apartment and try to imagine how much do you think it cost. So we are just here in one room. Sorry for the disaster. We are about to move into China, so we are packing. That's why we have this in this way. And let's see our bedroom. This is our bedroom. It's not, well, it doesn't have anything special. Actually, I've had this furniture since I was living in Mexico City, which was 5 years ago, more or less. We are going to sell them very soon. As you can see, this is a double bed. We have our closet. We have a magnificent view over there. As you can see, this is a bit cozy apartment, but we want you to think how much does it cost. Here we have a cooking area. Next to the cooking area, there's a washing machine. This is a small kitchen. This is very cozy for us, and we don't need much because we are just 2 people here, living here.
I'm just going to point out down here, the garrafones, big bottles of water. Don't drink the tap water in Mexico. It's not very expensive, but it is very hot, and if you have to carry 20-litre jug of water up a hill, that is one of the downsides of living here, I have to say.
In the same room, we have a living area and a dining area. Probably for many people, for a family with children, this wouldn't be big enough. But if you maybe are planning to come to Mexico just with your husband or with your wife, this would be perfect. So, how much do you think this apartment costs?
Well, I know how much this apartment costs because I also pay the rent. We pay for this apartment 7,000 pesos a month, which in dollars is $350, more or less. In pounds, 280 pounds a month for the whole apartment. As a Mexican, how does this compare to other places?
If I were living just here alone, it would be definitely expensive for me.
How much did you used to pay for your room, your shared room?
Oh, no, very cheap. I was paying 1,800.
Yeah, that does seem very cheap to me. I was paying 2,700, I think, for my room. I think that by many standards, this flat is quite expensive for the size. It's very small. If you're willing to live a little bit further out of the city, you could get a much bigger place for that much money. So why do we spend so much for such a small place?
There are 2 reasons. The first one is because we were looking to be more central. We used to have our jobs very near from here, so we prefer to travel by bus, walk very easily to the center.
We made one very crucial decision when we were establishing ourselves in Querétaro, and that was to not have cars.
Yes.
Querétaro is a place where everybody drives. Many people who are coming to live here will probably expect to drive. We had a choice. We could live further out, have cheaper rent, but run 2 cars. In the end, we decided to live more centrally, pay a little bit more. It's worked well. Everything's been very accessible for us.
Yeah, I think we are in a good area, so it's totally affordable to be living here without having a car.
So that's the rent.
So let's have a look at the bill.
So this certainly isn't the case where I'm from in the UK, but the gas doesn't get piped in automatically, and you need to call a truck to come and fill it up. We have been caught out a couple of times without any gas. So this is one of the gas tanks. So how much gas do we have left? Here we go. We've got 30 kilos, is it?
I think it's kind of difficult here because we just use this tank for taking showers, which is kind of weird because if you are living here in Mexico, we just have normally one tank and we use it for hot water and also for cooking. The difference here is that we have two tanks. I think we are paying a lot. As we have such nice weather here in Querétaro, we don't have to use air conditioning or heater. So that means we are spending less money on electricity or gas.
The gas that we use for the kitchen is very, very cheap. It costs us something in the region of 100 pesos a month, $5 a month. Now for hot water,
incredibly expensive.
We have to rely on our landlady. All of the apartments in the building share one tank. The cost of that gets split between all of the apartments. We end up having to pay around 350 pesos a month. All of my Mexican friends and colleagues tell me that that is a lot of money. If you're coming to Mexico and you're renting, be careful about your landlords.
Here we have the electricity bill. It comes every 2 months. We are paying like more or less 200 pesos, which are just under 10 pounds or
just over $10.
Yes. What else? Can you tell us about the water?
In our apartment building, it works a little bit differently. We pay our landlady directly. So we don't have a bill. She tells us that it's about 150 pesos a month. Yeah, so if you live in Querétaro, let us know. Are we paying too much for water? So Karen, how much do we spend on our phones?
We spend 200 pesos each month.
Each. So that's about $10 a month per person. We're with Virgin. So let's have a look. We've got the app here. Unlimited for 20 days for 200 pesos. Or for a whole month, 3,000 megabytes, 3 gigabytes for $10. If your phone is unlocked, just buy a SIM card in Mexico, $10, and you will have more than enough data for your stay. We pay 650 pesos a month for internet, and this is the speed on Wi-Fi. I think it's really good quality. Another luxury that we've allowed ourselves here in Mexico up until very recently, we hired a cleaner to come and give the apartment a good deep clean once a fortnight. And how much did that cost?
300 pesos, which is $15. Actually, it was very good. I think that's the standard price. And the reason of what we were doing this is because we were working all the time and obviously we didn't have time to do a deep clean. Now we are not working.
We thought it was a little bit too much to hire somebody else to do it when we're not working. So, Karen, I've got the total. How much do we spend on the basics?
Like 9,000.
Very good. 9,613 pesos a month. For the two of us, just under $500, just under 400 pounds.
Now we are done with the necessities. So let's have a look at how much it costs to have fun. Vámonos. We are here in Plaza de Armas. We just had our lunch and it was pretty good actually because we had this enfrijoladas with this salad. It cost just over 300 for both of us. I can say this is a mid-range restaurant. We eat out about twice a week and normally after having the meal we go for some drinks. Maybe we go for a breakfast on Sunday. I don't think we are limiting ourselves. It's worth mentioning that in February we went to Guadalajara, which means that we spent more money because we were eating out all the time. The total amount we spent on eating out was 4,576 pesos. We enjoy eating out, so I'm going to say this is our luxury. So if you want to know more about expensive restaurants or cheap restaurants, you could go to our video, which I'm going to put the link here, over here, where we talk more about the cost of living in Mexico.
Okay, as you can
see, we live in a beautiful city. Queretaro is a lovely old colonial city, but it's not the only one by a long way. Mexico is absolutely full of wonderful places. So, we travel around quite a bit. I'd say maybe once a month, maybe a little bit less. The month that we're looking at, we went to Guadalajara. We stayed in an Airbnb. We also took a tour to Tequila. The tour, accommodation and travel to Guadalajara came to 4,941 pesos in total for the two of us.
If you want to get a discount on Airbnb, there's a link in the description where you can get
I think it's about 900 pesos, up to about 900 pesos off.
yes, so take advantage of that. If we are talking about our monthly expenses, I think we should mention how much we spend on groceries. I'm not going to talk much about this because we already made a video about this, comparing the prices between a supermarket and a market. If you want to watch it later, I'm going to put the link in the description. We used to buy in supermarkets because when I was working, I had this card. It's like a gift card or vales de despensa in español. It's quite common to get one of these when you are working. The employer puts some money in this card every month so you can spend it on groceries. Dave was telling me that he had never seen this before, so maybe in another country it's the same. Tell us about it in the comments if it's the same in your country. You can't use it on booze and you can't use it in the market because obviously it's an electronic device, so in the market you're not going to find a machine where you can pass your card.
That's what we spend our money to have fun on. Showing you around the town a little bit. Now we're going to get the bus back and add it all up and see how much we spend in total in a month living in Mexico. So we're in the bus at the moment. It costs 11 pesos to get anywhere within Querétaro on one bus. So 11 pesos is about 55 cents for one journey. Karen was taking the bus to work while she was still working. So taking the bus to and from work every day, 5 days a week, would work out at about 500 pesos a month.
We're back now. I've done all of the sums. How much do you think we spent?
I already know how much we spent, so do you want me to say another number?
No. Tell us a number.
In February we spent 26,540.
Just under 1,400 US dollars, just under 1,100 British pounds. A lot of people are retiring to Mexico, and I saw that for two people, the state pension in the UK is almost exactly what we spent in February. You're retired, you can eat out plenty, you can take a trip to a different state once a month, live not extravagantly, but probably much more comfortably than I could in the UK for that amount of money.
And if you're Mexican, this video can give you an idea of how much you can spend by living here in Querétaro. As you can see, we were not limit ourselves, but we were not spending too much, like to be wasting money.
Yes, we definitely could have spent less money quite easily.
There are many people who have a car, and I imagine they have a different budget just because they have the car. So maybe more comfortable, but maybe you live further away, and that means you're paying less rent, but you're maybe, I don't know, you're paying more gas.
This monthly budget includes one trip to a different state. Also, if you follow us, you'll know we are not working at the moment. We're preparing for a big move. We're moving to China. And during this period, we've got no income. We've made a few changes, and we've noticed that we're making a lot of savings almost without thinking about them. So what are the...
Gym, we used to pay more in gym. Now we go to another gym. We need to walk more, but it's okay because we have the time to do it. We go to buy our groceries in the market. Obviously, if we need something from supermarket, we go there. But we are trying to buy chicken or meat in market, which usually is cheaper. And we're not paying a cleaner anymore because we are here, we do that.
Okay, so I've calculated that we save a minimum of 2,000 pesos a month maybe a little bit more, because we have more time to do things. So depending on your situation, if you're working all the time, then maybe you have to spend as much as we did. If you're interested in teaching English in Queretaro, then I've made a video about that. We'll put the link in the description. The reason that we made this video is one of our first videos was about the cost of living in Queretaro. It's been quite successful. It's one of our more successful videos. We hope that we've done it a bit better this time and given some extra information. If you want to see the original, that's in the description.
Si les gustó el video, ojalá que se suscriban y ayúdenos a darle like, activen la campana para recibir siempre notificaciones. Este video tiene la finalidad de ayudarlos a todos a que se den una idea. También hay mucha gente mexicana que quiere venir a vivir a Querétaro. Es una ciudad que está creciendo mucho, entonces espero que esto haya sido mucho de utilidad.
And I just want to say a big round of applause for Karen for doing the entire video in English. She's done a fantastic job. I know it wasn't easy for her, so...
Me obligó. Fue muy difícil editar este video.
How have you edited this already?
Va a ser muy difícil editar este video. Estoy practicando, no sean tan malos. Y muchas gracias a la gente que se está suscribiendo al canal, nos está ayudando mucho. Hemos recibido muchos comentarios también por Instagram, se los agradecemos, ustedes ya saben quién son. Esperemos seguir sacando videos que les gusten. Si tienen ideas, díganos también aquí abajo.
See you next time.
Adiós. 26,500. 500. In February we spent.
Peso.